The Jonas Brothers. I love them, you love them, hell, even I love them. The evolution of my appreciation for the Jonas Brothers really began in like 3rd grade when it seemed like every girl I was friends with had a huge crush on either Nick or Joe or both. More than a decade later, my life would change entirely when my wife introduced me to Camp Rock and Camp Rock 2, which we now watch every single year. And then in recent years, I found myself really liking the new music they're putting out. They dropped a pretty good album this year. It's got this one song that samples Stayin' Alive that I've been playing on a loop since summer. The album with Waffle House on it has like 6 songs that I think are super underrated. Suffice it to say, I'm kind of a fan of the Jonas Brothers. It is also well documented on this channel that I'm a fan of terrible Christmas movies. My earliest forays onto YouTube were reviews of terrible Christmas movies. So I was scrolling through IMDb one day when I came across this, A Very Jonas Christmas, starring none other than the Jonas Brothers. Was this movie tailor-made for me to review? This movie hits you with confusion just right out the gate.
Okay. Let's go, people!
Will Ferrell? This is confusing for multiple reasons. First of all, Will Ferrell is in fact playing himself, and as we come to discover, so is everyone else in this movie. This movie really happened. This is non-fiction. The second reason that this is confusing is that Will Ferrell has nothing to do with this movie. The opening scene with him in it is totally unrelated to the rest of like the plot of this film. He really just serves as a conduit to get us to the concert where we meet our real protagonists, the Jonas Brothers. Maybe you've heard of them. They're performing a Christmas concert where they play one Christmas song and then just leave.
This is what I do about the fire is warm, the angels are singing. I don't wanna miss a single thing, don't wanna.
Nick Jonas sings like he is afraid if he sings one wrong note, they'll shoot him. Joe Jonas sings like he just woke up. Anyways, immediately the movie starts hinting at some of the tension brewing between the brothers. Nick is always having to do everything for the group because Kevin and Joe are just fucking around constantly.
I love memes.
The brothers have finished their Christmas tour and they are trying to make it back home in time for Christmas, but their assistant has to go renew his wedding vows so he can't drive them to the airport, so they're gonna have to do it themselves.
It's one night, Brad. We'll be fine.
I just don't like the idea of my boys being all alone in London.
I didn't like the way he said that.
My boy.
So then Joe is trying to convince them to go out to the club because he's the wild one. This movie establishes their roles very concretely. Nick is the rigid, no-nonsense one, Joe is the loose cannon, and Kevin is also there. So Nick is like, no, we're not going out tonight, I'm not doing that. But then Joe apparently like has the ability to suck them into his own fantasies through the power of song.
EJ just texted about this show, sounds mad fuego. Wanna come with guys that look like the Joe Bros? Don't miss the best night.
So their plan for the night was just to like go to a bar and wait for someone to invite them to come along because they look like the Jonas
I
Brothers.
mean, they do look like the Jonas Brothers.
It worked.
We strut into the club like we own it. Our new friend goes to hug.
That's Nick Jonas. Oh shit, okay.
Oh, we just saw that person's entire crack.
That was Joe Jonas.
We saw, yeah, he did that backflip.
But this elaborate fantasy does not persuade the brothers to go out, so they do not. Nick hops on a FaceTime with his real-life wife where he reiterates that he is feeling like he has to make all the decisions for the group.
You look tired.
I mean, 6 months of touring will do that to you. Not to mention 6 months of obsessing over every single detail of tour creative and the album artwork and next year's routing, all while my brothers enjoy their carefree existence.
Okay, well, keep your chin up, all right? You're almost home. We love you.
I love you so much.
Nick, do you want to try that one more time, maybe a little bit more convincing? Kevin also calls his wife, and it turns out he's sitting on some big emotional secret also.
Hey babe, have you talked to Nick and Joe?
No. I just don't know how they're gonna take it.
Is he getting a divorce? A
No,
Christmas divorce?
I bet he's dropping out of the band.
Oh. So he's divorcing the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, they're not gonna be brothers anymore. They're gonna have to pull in,
The Jonas acquaintances. Meanwhile, Joe is at the bar dumping all of his emotional issues on actual Santa Claus. Would it even be a Christmas movie if actual Santa Claus wasn't a character?
Look, us as the Jonas Brothers, we're great, but us as brothers, like actually us, you know? Whatever magic was there is just dead.
Nothing like Christmas to help a family rediscover its magic.
I hope Santa transports them back to Camp Rock so they can remember their roots, where they began.
I hope that Santa takes off his face and it's just brown. Sorry. Santa takes in this information, really chews on it, and then in order to bring the brothers closer for the holidays, he decides that he's going to blow up the plane that was going to take them home. Like he uses his magic to make it explode. in a mushroom cloud. So
Santa just cursed
committed like a domestic terror attack.
I hope there was no one like on that plane prepping it.
So they're not flying home. Their travel agent manages to find them a flight out of Paris, but they have to catch a train that leaves in 30 minutes. So they catch an Uber from this terrifying old woman who probably kills like 8 people getting them there.
Truck!
A very Jonas Brothers manslaughter. She drives so fast that even though they only had 30 minutes to drive to the train station and board the train, the Jonas Brothers still have enough time to sing an entire song where they just like harass every person they encounter in this train station.
Hanging the Christmas lights, but I still feel all kinds of blue.
Oh, my ball, what the fuck?
Oh, it was
Oh, it was Nick Jonas. I like that dance move where they spanked the luggage.
God.
They did the Camp Rock. They did the Camp Rock.
You won't be alone this Christmas. I'm
First he blows up their plane, then he sends them to Amsterdam. Okay, but then on the train, Joe runs into an old flame named Lucy, and the extent of their chemistry is like they're kind of always just like squinting at each other.
You are like a fancy doctor now.
Yeah, I am. I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon.
That's right. I remember in science class when we had to dissect that pig. Everybody was freaking out, and you just cut that thing up like a pro.
Yeah, I remember that. You threw up in my JanSport.
No, I did
Like
not.
in the middle of the classroom. Yes, you did. I held your hair.
You held his like, his Camp Rock angular bangs cut. So they get to Amsterdam, and the only hotel room in the entire city is just a single bed in the middle of a room.
Do they have to share a bed?
3.
There was only one bed with the Jonas Brothers. Someone's written that. Okay, but these are characters of themselves. Would it be okay to write fan fiction of these characters? Not sexual, just like doing adventures.
In the one bed in this room?
No, I wasn't even referring to that.
At one point on the train, Nick had gotten a call from their publicist telling him that the promoters of their tour actually want to extend the tour for like 6 months after the holidays. But Nick has already been kind of stressing about having to take care of everything for the group, and it's pretty clear he doesn't really want to do it. But instead of telling the other Joe Bros, he just kind of keeps like tiptoeing around it, even though he's like obviously pissed at them.
Guys, would you please shut up? I'm trying to figure out how to get us home.
Nick, please like tell them you hate them.
Or just kill both of them in Amsterdam and you'll get away with it. You're Nick Jonas. They're not gonna send you to prison. So their new plan to get home is to ask this Broadway singer that Nick has some kind of sordid history with to give them a ride in his private plane, and they just kind of show up at an event that he's doing in Amsterdam.
Could that possibly be the Jonas Brothers?
That's what I say every time I see 3 men in any room. Okay, but then they get into like a singing contest, and Nick humiliates him in front of this whole group, and he kind of like storms off. So there goes that idea.
That's live theater for you. Anything can happen, right?
Does anyone have a plane?
Joe randomly runs into the same lady from the train in Amsterdam, and the editors accidentally reuse her weird laugh twice.
You know, I could probably give you Nick's Venmo.
Yeah.
And you could just bill him.
Okay, great.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Joe and Lucy make plans to go out that night, and he's about to text his brothers to let them know, but then he has like a hallucination of them like shaming him for his promiscuity.
You're a worthless party boy who doesn't deserve love.
I agree.
You can't shift back and forth like that. It's too similar.
It's giving Mist.
Sears and Aguilar.
You're a worthless party boy who doesn't deserve love.
He goes for a romantic nighttime walk with Lucy, and she escalates it so suddenly.
But the good news is this looks like a good spot
Looks good for what, exactly?
for swimming. Come on, pretty boy. The cold water will be good for your pores.
Take your shirt off, Joe Jonas. Get in this Dutch canal. But Santa takes advantage of this vulnerable moment to steal all 3 of the Jonas Brothers' passports, which Joe was keeping in... Is that his underwear? Joe and Lucy get caught by the police, and they have to run out of the canal, completely dry, to a laundromat where a disgusted old woman gives them her clothes.
I feel like I have a million questions about what you've been doing and thinking and feeling, and I don't know. You just feel like my old favorite sweater.
Your holes are all nice and broken in.
Don't say that. That's disgusting. disgusting. That's foul. How dare you say that about Joe Jonas?
Anyways, Nick is not thrilled that Joe managed to lose all of their passports and they have to call their travel agent again.
Most of my drivers are off for the holidays, but I'll check trusty Craigslist Amsterdam. Here's someone. He's probably gonna want to do stuff to your feet.
No. No. What kind of stuff?
Joe's a freak, no questions asked. He's ready and willing, but they don't do that. Actually, I'm not 100% sure how they get this car or what they had to do to get it, but they get it, except Santa sneaks into the exhaust pipe and the car breaks down in 4 seconds. So they hitch a ride from, guess who? Santa. He's acting super normal.
Have we met before?
No, of course not. No, I've never put a spell on you.
What?
Santa's just trying to make small talk with Nick, and he just immediately starts unloading all this emotional baggage, like instantly. Santa's like, so, what are you doing in Germany? And Nick's like, funny you should ask. So I hate my brothers.
And it just feels like by trying to keep us on our A game, I've gotten stuck being kind of annoying.
I think you guys need like a therapist.
Yeah.
Like, I think it feels like you started talking to the first person that asked about that.
Guy. Santa boots Nick to the bed of the truck with the other 2 Joe Bros, and it's like, finally, they're gonna talk about the things that are bothering them. But they don't. Nick just kind of starts singing into the ether.
I had the innocence to love you without keeping score.
Oh, was it Operation or Monopoly? Endless challenge.
What conversation were they?
They were having a conversation and
then-
Nick was just singing next to them. Okay, attempt to get home number 4? 5?
Wow.
Get in before it fucking explodes. Actually, maybe don't get in before it explodes. Okay, so the pilot of their plane is their travel agent's ex-boyfriend, and in the middle of flying this plane, he decides that he has to take some shirtless photos to try to, like, win her back. So he gets up to go do that, but in the middle of that whole process, he, like, knocks himself out somehow, and then while the Jonas Brothers are dragging him back to the cockpit, they disengage the autopilot, and now they are definitely going to die. But don't worry, Santa's magic kicks in at the last second, so they only hit the ground at, like, 200 miles an hour.
I still think they're dead.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
They're going
They stopped so quickly.
Kevin Jonas is through the windshield.
They weren't buckled in or anything. They just crashed in the plane.
What's that smell?
It's the bottom half of your torso. It's disconnected. So now they're stranded in the Arctic woods, and Christmas is tomorrow.
I wish Santa was here.
To sort of give vague exposition.
No, I wish he could make them a fire with his magic.
Yeah, he is good at making fires. This second plane explosion is the catalyst that finally brings all their emotional issues to a boil, and they have this big blowout where they finally express their problems. Nick doesn't want to be totally responsible for every decision they have to make. Joe feels like they constantly belittle him and treat him like he's stupid. And Kevin wants to sing. So they all go in separate directions so they can sing a song about going in separate directions.
It's giving the episode of The Sopranos.
Pine Barrens? It's not!
They get stuck in the Christopher. Ollie gets
You're
stuck
saying that
in the middle of the woods and they wander
and they start
around.
singing about their feelings.
It's just a name assigned to me.
Jonas Brothers. As their song sort of brings them back together, they hear a strange rustling from the woods.
What was that? Gene?
It's a bear and they have to fight it off.
They have to throw Kevin to him and run away as fast as possible. But it's not a bear. It's a pack of wolves.
Guys, there's not just one, okay? Because wolves travel in packs.
But we're a pack. Joe, start biting. Turns out all it took for them to overcome their differences was coming face to face with their own demise. If you can ignore the fact that they did that like 8 separate times in this movie.
Every moment matters. Every feeling matters. Every brother matters.
They'll kiss.
They all kiss.
Holy shit, Santa!
But apparently their plane crash was all over the news, so their assistant shows up on a dog sled to rescue them, and they reconcile with each other, and they decide they will do Christmas together after all. Nick and Kevin invite Lucy over as well, so that Joe can profess his love.
This might be moving really fast, but do you want to spend Christmas with my entire family?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hi.
No ask for snow.
Oh, he's singing too, like into her mouth.
No ask for shooting starry nights. And I wrote a Buddhist miles long that I got.
How awkward was this to film, do you think? I could never be an actor.
I could never be a Jonas brother.
Open trees covered in silver.
It's a child.
Ah, I don't want this.
How long has she been in there, Priyanka? And everyone in the movie has a magical Christmas. Even the terrifying old woman from the beginning. It's like if you looked out the window, like it's like spiraling. They've just gone off a cliff. Kevin finally gets to sing.
All I wanted was time. Make the hands on the clock stop moving.
And just 1 month later, the brothers are back on the road, singing together again. They play one of their songs, and that's kind of the end of the movie.
Will Ferrell was there, I forgot about that.
Did that ever come back?
No. That means he's gonna marry one of the Jonas Brothers.
Which one do you think it's gonna be?
Probably Joe. Because he's not married yet, so.
You think he's gonna break up with Lucy and start dating Will Ferrell?
He has to, legally.
You're right. So yeah, that's what the Jonas Brothers have been up to. Honestly, this movie wasn't like that bad. It's definitely at least as good as like a standard Hallmark movie. And I feel like at some points it was actually like way funnier. I did have higher hopes for the songs though. They were kind of unremarkable. Well, anyway, now that my yearly thirst for bad Christmas movies has been quenched, I can return to my Christmas coffin to sleep again until next year. Disney, instead of doing this, could we maybe just get Camp Rock 3 instead? Thank you in advance. Did they hurt Joe Jonas? Why did he say that? Why did he let out a cry of pain at the end?
What was that?